even, I'm not saying you do, but even if you consider the other side, less of a man, not with the man with a full brain, that means then in order to prevent bloodshed, you have to think for two. I don't know. It was advertised to me that Jewish people are good thinkers. They can't think for two, so, to have those brown people work for them instead of having to kill them and get their hands dirty. I mean, if I'm thinking for two, they call it a defensive driving, expecting other drivers to be crazy. So you do defensive driving. You think for two. You try to think for two. So this is how it is. That is a periphery in Palestine, in Israel. That's a periphery of your empire. You've been trying to push the empire into Asia from the west for 75 years now. The locals, the natives, are putting up a fight. Maybe that's not the right way to have influence all over the world. Maybe the better way is to take away your military bases and put up universities, put up casinos. Maybe allow everybody in and put up casinos just like Lebanon was before the creation of Israel. During the creation of Israel, a few years after creation of Israel, Lebanon still had some kind of a, you know, nice side of the Mediterranean Sea resort style kind of living in Lebanon, having a good time. All the Arab sheik used to go over there have a good time. What happened? Israel was created, and all the neighbors went batshit crazy. And I'm not. It's a fight over land. The natives were living there; they were pushed out. Here's what I'm saying is, go to Israel and do a show for a year, Mr. Bilma. Go to Israel and do shows, the same shows you do over here, sitting at your home in California. Go over there and do a show for a year in Israel. And then go do a show for a year in the center of Gaza or whatever, if there is center left in anything. Go, go do your show for for a year in Egypt. You will come back with, every time, I can assure you, every time you come back from there, you're going to go shake hands with the appropriate squad member and say, hey, I understand some of you saying it was shit over there. And a lot of it is because we are doing shit over there that makes no sense. We are trying to, rape them when they're willing to when they're willing to date you. Here's the thing, they're willing to date you, but you keep raping them. It's sort of like, no, you don't have to rape them. You can go back to putting up American universities all over Middle East. Take away your bases for a few years and then start going back to build, you know, putting up universities in the Middle East, in North Africa, in Central Africa, in South Africa. Start putting up universities. There were American universities, so many of them, all over the Asia and Africa. I'm sure South America. I'm not sure about that, but all the American universities went away. American military bases came. Then it was they did some, European cousins of them came over and declared themselves the owners of the land in Palestine. Now it's called Israel. From today, it's called. My friend, Mr. Muz, you have to physically go to the peripheries of the empire, produce shows over there. So you're present. Some of your guests are going to be locals. Some of your guests are going to be Americans. You have to fly them in. You don't have the funds. So, and your shows will become more popular too because now you're speaking at the pain point. From the pain points, you're speaking from there with some American representatives and local politicians or local uh, people in the know, and you put these together, and you probably will make much better shows and solve a lot more problems. But you don't do that. You're sitting at the center of the empire, and you are passing judgment on the peripheries of the empire. Hmm. And issuing, edicts as if like, yeah, yeah, I think this is right on the point. We should go down this path because it's the right path. Okay. For example, so again, your domestic views and perspective a lot of time very close to being real, but your foreign views, foreign policy views are you know way to the I have a feeling to the right of Hitler. Here's the thing. Um, First of all, in your last, here's a new rule. You had this monologue about how it is you comparing you're comparing the displacement of the brown skins from their land and atrocities committed that was involved in that process of removing the natives from the land and occupying the land. White people coming, removing the brown people and occupying the land, which has happened in Israel. With regards to that, you said, well, tough shit. Get used to it. A lot of people have been displaced. In 16 something, in 1700, in 1800, in 1900, they have been displaced, so be it. And you compared yourself, compared the invasion of North Africa and West Asia by the Saudi Arabians, by the Arab nomads, their invasions and their, you know, making a caliphate or whatever the fuck they called it, an empire of, Arabs. You refer to that as, yes, they did it in 623, the year of our Lord 623. Because they did it in 623, these motherfucking Arabs, they did that, plunging. So we are okay to see it happen again in 2023? You do understand there's a difference between 623 and 2023. I'm not sure. I mean, a while ago, I had a very short spat with a guy with a British guy on the internet, in which I wrote somewhere that the British have killed the most number of people from the most variety of the races on this planet. They got on ships and went and killed their way through all over Atlantic, South Atlantic, North Atlantic, South Pacific, North Pacific, all over the world. The British have killed people, so they have the most number of blood from the most number of races. If there is a chart of who has the most variety of blood on their hand, it would be the British as a nation. And and I said this, and the guy said, "Well, yeah, the Mongols. I'm sure they have killed more people." And I said, "Well, if you have to compare yourself with the Mongols, then I rest my case." I rest my case, Mr. Bill Maher, when you have to compare the chaos over there, if you have to compare that to the invasion of the, Saudi Arabs of 1400 years ago, or 1,000 years ago. I'm sorry, 1,000 years ago, less than 900 years ago. If you have to compare yourself with that, then I rest my case. I don't have to, argue any further because you don't understand that was like, 623 and we are 2023. What are you saying, man? And if you ask around, nobody, everybody on that neighborhood, considers the Arabs' invasion of their countries as, Arab hordes coming in. They have stories and mythology about the Arab hordes, and nobody looks at them with respect. At least at that time. Now they're respectable, I guess. But at that time, nobody considers the Arabs of 623, the year of your Lord 623. The Arabs of that time, nobody considers them as, you know, nice people. There were hordes of despicable people. But people don't stay despicable all throughout their culture through thousands of years of change. People don't, the despicables don't remain despicables, and the honorables don't remain honorables. The cultures go up and down. So, you know, please don't compare, don't try to justify the actions of a small group of Ashkenazi Europeans in West Asia and the way they're treating the brown skins, just like the Europeans, Puritans treated the redskins. These folks, Ashkenazi folks, are also treating the brown skins. This is the brown and the red and the yellow and the black have been getting the same treatment from white people from the start. Wherever you go, you want to be in control. It's sort of like, no, 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 this is my land. You don't understand, red man, this is my land. You're not supposed to be here. Does it ring any bell? In the videos has come out, the Israeli man is saying to the brown man, a white man is saying to a brown man, you don't get it. This house has to belong to us because they just changed the line on the map, and your house became our house. So you move out, I move in, and have a nice day. By the way, where do you keep the keys? And you're going along with this, Mr. Bilmore, because you're not there. You're not really there. You have a view about there. You have an opinion about there, but you're not there. It's like you having an opinion about, you know, my house when you don't live in it. I was watching one of the Frasier reruns about the one time Frasier spent a few hours, you know, building a house for some homeless people, and you know, proclaiming that he actually was doing something that he wasn't. He started organizing, the house for them. After handing over the house to the homeless people, he started organizing the house for them. You should put it like this, and you should put it like that, and so you're organizing somebody's house without having to live there. You're telling what is the correct solution for Israel, for Palestine, for brown people over there. What is the correct solution for the brown people over there? And you don't have to live in there. You don't have to live in that house. You're not living in that house. How can you can pass edict about how the people of that house should be treated? I mean, That's why you don't understand them. Maybe you should go and be with them for a while. Maybe you can better understand them, Mr. Bill Maher. Elon Musk, he was at the peripheries of the empire, so he has an idea the fucking shit show that is at the peripheries of the empire, white empire. It was a shit show. At 18, he got out of there as soon as he could. 16, 17, 18. Peripheries of the empire are not fun places to be, especially if the empire is run badly from the center. Why the empire is run badly from the center? Because, first of all, the empire is not recognized as an empire. Everybody is introduced as allies, not subjects. Okay, we are allies, but remember when Trump pulled himself through all those European leaders to the front? It's sort of like that's Trump showing what Americans feel that no, 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 we are not allies. Fuck you. That was the manifestation. But that in reality, that is the case. Even though Mr. Democratic presidents try to act humble and be part of the crowd, but in reality, Trump brought forward the reality. In fact, the Trump years was the manifestation of Emperor has no clothes. Emperor is not holding back. Let's put it this way. Emperor is, going naked, and he knows he's naked, and he doesn't give a fuck. That was Trump. I'm naked. I know I'm naked, and I don't give a fuck. That's how many Democrats felt very naked when they when Trump was the leader of the empire. They felt very naked because he wasn't pretending that it's not an empire. He wasn't pretending about that. And because he wants to, spend less money in South Korea, he went and shook the hand of the fucking North Korean guy. So I'm okay with you. You're okay with me? Okay, I have a feeling another 4 years of Trump, the Korean military base is going to be closed down, because and they don't have to actually go to war just because the military base is closes down. They don't have to go to war. They start forming some kind of unity government, and these guys turn a little red, and those guys turn a little blue, and they become purple. What happened to fucking Vietnam? They started red, turned purple, and now they're very blue. They started red, turned purple, and now they're very blue. The same thing is going to happen to North Korea. But doing you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's sort of like, no, no, no. We want to have this forceful presence. Is it necessary? It, Influence can come from love, or influence can come from fear. If you're the center of the empire and you start taking down military bases and putting up American universities, you will be loved as an empire. But I guess there's more profit in blowing things up. I don't know, because it seems like it. I mean, you want to buy their love. If you can buy their love, why not? And considering that U.S. dollar is the reserve was is still is the reserve currency of the world, you could have bought their love instead of trying to buy their fear by bombing them. I mean, you could you ex, what I'm trying to say is, empire can be expanded in many ways. the least efficient way and the least long-term way of expanding an empire is through war, through fear, creation of fear. You you will become part of my empire. You will stay as in my empire out of fear. No, make them need you, need your scientists. Not because you kill off their scientists, just because you create more scientists. Oh God. It's like you're playing the British handbook of how to do colonialism. Everybody's following the British handbook of the British didn't write the best handbook of how to run an empire. They just wrote the last handbook of how to run an empire. And again, they got the end wrong because that's how they fell. They overextended, tried to not pay for their love, but pay for their fear. Because fear makes more money in the short term. If they're fearful, like running a mob, out of love, they may pay you $1 a week, but out of fear,